How's it going, everyone? It's Sam. What is the financial order of operations for a Bitcoiner, for someone that wants to accumulate more Bitcoin? Because honestly, it's not really well talked about. We have shows like Dave Ramsey that are very popular, but they don't like crypto at all. We have shows like Caleb Hammer, who I actually have gone into a spiral on over the last few days, that talk about financial order of operations, trying to help people get out of debt, make smarter financial decisions. But he doesn't really incorporate crypto too much into the equation. So what if you're someone that very much believes Bitcoin is going to be the future currency or is going to appreciate a lot? How do you balance buying Bitcoin with investing in your future, saving, spending on a reasonable income? Because I know personally, like, I make above the average income in the US, and I still oftentimes feel like I don't have enough Bitcoin. So how can we balance this all out? I think it's something that's not really well talked about or well explored. And I think it's something that we should probably hit on with some future guests as well. But let's get into it today. And to be fair, this is kind of my initial thoughts, and this may change over time. And to be clear, everyone's situation is different. I don't know if you have credit card debt. If you're watching this channel, probably not, but there are definitely probably 30 or 40% people that watch this video that have credit card debt. I don't know what kind of income you have. I don't know your age category, your risk, or anything like that, but this is just my general thought process on it. Now, before we get started, if you are someone that is set up well financially and you can take some more risks, there are links underneath the video to Margex, where you can trade cryptocurrency using leverage. You can get set up and started in just a few seconds. There's also a link underneath the video to CoinW, where you can trade cryptocurrency assets, and they're giving away 100 million jungle tokens, which is a lot, thousands and thousands of dollars of jungle tokens. So you can check out those links. By the way, if you are going to Bitcoin Nashville, there's a link to that underneath the video as well, where you can get a 10% discount by using my code. But let's start talking about the financial order of operations. So we have to make some assumptions, because I don't know your situation. Maybe we even do this. Maybe we do this with people live. I don't know. But let's say you're a 25-year-old with 40K in income. 40K in income. This is post-tax. Again, we just have to have something here. We need to have some kind of base to start off at. Okay. First of all, if you're 25, no matter your age, you should not have high interest rate debt. No payday loans, no credit card debt. I don't care if I don't care the situation. I don't care how you got there. Like, whatever horrible things happen to you, we're at the situation now where you can't have debt. You can't have high interest rate debt. You have to get out of it. Now, some people will say, well, something happened to me. I got blindsided. The insurance screwed me. I had to go on a trip. Not my significant other got married, but my cousin got married. My sister got married, and I had to go to the wedding. And then, okay, I don't care what it is. You have to get rid of that debt. Now, whether that means you don't eat out, whether that means you're on rice and beans, whether that means that you are living back home with your parents at 25 years old, I don't care the situation, whether that means you have to work 70 hours a week. There will be excuses, but you have to get out of that debt, because this is, if you're a Bitcoiner, right? You're someone that wants to buy more Bitcoin. You can't go out and buy a bunch of Bitcoin when you have high interest rate debt. Now, some people will say, well, isn't Bitcoin going to appreciate at 50% a year? It has, but we don't know that it's necessarily going to outpace the 30% rate that you have on your credit card. It's stupid to go take loans against it, to go take loans and get credit card, run up your credit card to go invest in Bitcoin, because we don't know what Bitcoin's going to do. Also, your emotions play a big role in investing. So if you see Bitcoin's price going down and you see your rate going up, or the amount that you owe on your credit cards going up, you're going to make stupid decisions and you're going to sell at the wrong time. Bitcoin is great, but a lot of us are tethered to the price of Bitcoin. So you have to come at Bitcoin from a place of strength. Otherwise, you'll make stupid decisions. You'll throw money at meme coins. You'll gamble on projects that you shouldn't, and then you'll lose a bunch of money. And then you'll still have the credit card debt. You'll probably have even more. So before investing in Bitcoin, pay off the high interest rate debt, payday loans, crazy high APRs for cars. Like, just get a simple car that will get you A to B. It doesn't have to be something sexy. None of us deserve after college to get a super nice car. We haven't done much yet. We haven't made any financial contributions to our future self. So I know I'm going on a rant here, but get rid of that high interest rate debt. If it's 7% or up, get rid of it. These are just guidelines, but I think they're good guidelines. After that, like, approach that without even having much of an emergency fund, because it is an emergency to get rid of that credit card debt. After that, have a 1 month emergency fund. Get there first. Okay. So on $40,000, we're going to assume you're spending about $3,000 a month. You have to get up to that $3,000 mark, because otherwise there will be some emergency that comes up. And if you have the credit cards, you're going to go back into debt. If you do payday loans, you're going to go back into the payday loans. You have to get at least like $2,000-$3,000 saved up, so that way you're okay, right? If something happens or your tire blows out, you can deal with it. Okay. Invest in your 401k up to the match. Okay, so if you're working a 9-to-5 job, if they have a 401k, let's say they match 100% up to 4%, that means on a $40,000 a year income, again, this is going to be post-tax 40k, so maybe it's 45k or something like that before tax. We're going to assume that you put that 4% to the 401k. This is before buying Bitcoin, still before buying Bitcoin. So that is $1,800 you're going to put towards the company match. And the reason for that is you automatically get another $1,800. This is better than Bitcoin will most likely do on a consistent basis. And then you invest that into something like VOO or a general stock market indice for the US. Okay, so that will take care of your base at 4%. At 25 years old, you're probably going to be right around $1 million. I'm not doing the math right now, but you're probably going to be somewhere around $1 million by the time you're 60. You never touch that. You never touch that. And hopefully, eventually, you can contribute more to it. And then at this stage of your life, you're not married, you don't have kids, we're going to go to a 3-month emergency fund. 6 months would be better, but it will take you a while to get there. 3 months. We're going to cut back on expenses. So you were spending, let's say you were spending 40K on your 40K income. We're going to say cut back down to 30, 35, hopefully even lower than that. Like, cut back on everything. I've been watching the Caleb Hammer videos, and people spend money on such stupid stuff. And if you're making 100K, okay, you can go buy an energy drink at a gas station. If you're making 40K, go to the grocery store. Go to the grocery store, pack everything. I don't care. Just do it. It will save you money. You want to become wealthy over time. You want to buy Bitcoin. You need to take care of the fundamental things. So 3 to 6 month emergency fund. Okay, 3 to 6 months. It's going to take a while. At 2.5K a month, you might be able to get there in 3 to 6 months. Okay, this is still before buying Bitcoin. Okay, so now you're caught up. You make 40K a year. Your expenses are 30, maybe 35K. So you have 5 to 10K left over. We're going to say that, let's say that you have 10K left over. If you're going to buy a house, you have to start saving a little bit towards that. If you have any big things coming up, you have to save towards that. So let's just say 5K goes to long-term savings. Maybe you want to buy a house, which would probably be smart because houses continue to get more and more expensive. Depending on the area you're living in, though, you want a low cost of living area. I'd save then, so you have 5K left over. If you're a Bitcoiner, you can save anywhere up to 50%. Now that's risky. You don't have a great financial base still at this point. You probably just have a couple $1,000s in your 401k. You have a 3 months emergency fund, but if you want to be more aggressive, you can go up to, let's say, 50%. Say 50% into Bitcoin. Again, this might be retirement. You don't want to touch this. To be clear, you don't need to touch this because you have the emergency fund, but hopefully you're saving it for the long term. You're not looking to flip in and out. You're not at a stage where you can really take that risk. Like just put it into Bitcoin, leave it. Then 50% into a Roth IRA or an HSA. The reason for that, you still want to be diversified. So it's great if you can, let's say you want to open up a Roth IRA and put 100% into it. You could put 50% of that money into a Bitcoin ETF. So now that we have Bitcoin ETFs, you can do that. It's not the same thing as holding Bitcoin, but at this point, the self-sovereignty of Bitcoin should not be for you. You at $40,000 a year, you're not moving, you're not being oppressed by your government most likely and having to move out, especially if we're talking about US. Like, you just need a better way of investing that can save you on some taxes down the road. So let's say you put that entire 5K into your Roth IRA each year. Maybe you want to put half into a Bitcoin ETF, the rest invest into not stocks, individual stocks, just VOO or some total stock market index fund. The reason for that is you need to spend more time making more money. Like, you should not have enough time to research individual stocks. Maybe you have enough time to keep up on Bitcoin because you understand it. You should not be investing in individual stocks too, because at 40K a year, you need to make more money. That's not enough money for the long term. So yeah, that's going to be a big part of this. You need to make more money. If you're at 40K, 50K, 60K, like, it's great to invest in Bitcoin, but if you can make more money, that might be more significant than investing in Bitcoin. I know a lot of people will say, well, Bitcoin's going to $1 million, and that's true. You're going to have a lot more financial leverage if you make 80K a year versus 40K a year. I don't care if you're able to invest $2,000 or $3,000 into Bitcoin. You're going to have a much better time making 80K and not investing in Bitcoin, most likely. Now, if Bitcoin takes over the world, okay, you can maybe make a case for 40K and you invest a couple $1,000s into Bitcoin, but that's not the point. The point is you need higher income jobs. You need to be able to make more money at this point. So grind, pay down debts, get an emergency fund. You can start investing. So let's say you have 2.5K then to invest in Bitcoin. You have that 5K, you split half into Bitcoin. I'm not telling you to go invest half of it into Bitcoin. That depends on your own risk level and your tolerance and your understanding of Bitcoin. But you have 50% left to invest in Bitcoin, which is 2.5K. At today's prices, that would be about 0.035 Bitcoin throughout the year. It'll probably be less than that because Bitcoin will probably appreciate in value. And actually, that's not right. I based that on $70,000. So we're going to say $64,000. You have about 0.039 Bitcoin left. So about 0.04. Let's just call it 0.04. That gives you a solid base, a solid Bitcoin base, even if you just get 0.04. How many people can get 0.04? Well, there's 21 million Bitcoin, but probably 5 million is lost. So you have 16 million. Let me just check that, make sure that my number is right there. I'm just trying to type it out. 16 million divided by 0.04. And keep in mind, there are a lot of entities that have a significant amount of Bitcoin that will never get rid of it. So really, you're not everyone's going to be able to buy 0.04, or there's not really 16 million Bitcoin is what I'm trying to say. There's not really 16 million Bitcoin to be bought, but if everyone tried to buy 0.04 Bitcoin and there's 16 million Bitcoin, well, there would only be about 400 million people that were able to buy that. So that's top 5%. There are 8 billion people in the world. 400 million will be able to buy it. So you're top 5%. And keep in mind, the available Bitcoins cut down significantly because there are the Michael Saylors of the world. There are Michael Dells of the world that may be getting into Bitcoin now. We'll say that for a video tomorrow. There are large entities, Satoshi, that owns 1 million Bitcoin. So let's say there's really more like 5 million. No, let's say there are 10 million. 10 million Bitcoin, because people would sell them at some price. We just don't know the price. That means that only 250 million people could buy that 0.04 Bitcoin. So you're still ahead of the pack. But the key is, at this stage, when you're young, you do need a base, right? Because you could do something stupid. Even if you put everything into Bitcoin and Bitcoin does well, the fact is you personally could still do something stupid. You could send it to the wrong wallet address. You could put it into a fund or put it into a website that gives you yield because you think that that'll make a huge difference, but then it gets rug pulled. You can make all kinds of decisions that are stupid and you lose your money, you lose the Bitcoin you have. Even if you're in the right asset, you can approach it stupid, especially in crypto. It's way easier to lose in crypto than in a stock, right? Or in the stock market and in a general fund. So build up the base, get rid of high interest rate debt, make a ton more money. You have to make more money than 40K a year, especially today. Like just grind. Then you can invest some more money into Bitcoin if you want, but build up the emergency fund, invest into the 401k up to the match. Probably put the rest of the money in a Roth IRA, maybe an HSA if you have a lot of health related issues, but put that away so that way you can save money on some taxes down the road because you're not having to pay much in tax right now. Not tax advice, but at 40K, you're probably not paying much in taxes. So put it in a Roth IRA, something that you can put off taxes for a while on, pay taxes on the front end, and then you don't have to pay taxes again. Use that to invest in the Bitcoin, into Bitcoin, and then into stocks as well. And then you can buy some Bitcoin, but you're never going to feel like you have enough. Take care of the other stuff first. So don't feel like you need to go buy, don't feel like you need to go buy 0.05 Bitcoin and go into credit card debt to get it. Because it's such a mental game. You have to take care of yourself before you can buy Bitcoin. You have to take care of the base. Okay. Let me know your thoughts on this underneath the video. Again, there are links underneath in case you want to buy some crypto or trade some crypto. There's also that ticket to Bitcoin Nashville as well. You can get the 10% off. Let me know if you want me to do more of these. I plan on doing more, probably at different income brackets, maybe different ages. Probably have some guests on too. I like this. Thank you so much. I appreciate it. I'll see you in the next one. Bye.